Hi guys, this is Jaden here, pre-recording a thoughts video as around maybe over 20 minutes ago. I had actually just finished watching a One Piece episode, that being episode 377, Zoro versus Bartholomew. But just so you guys know, no, I didn't watch this episode because I want to watch all of One Piece from start to finish or anything like that. No, I like One Piece, but not to where it's like a show I'd want to watch all the time, or I want to watch it all the whole way through from start to finish or anything like that. But I like One Piece rather as a show that I'd watch if it was on, or something that I would watch sometimes to watch a little bit of something different. And I've decided to watch episode 377 as also earlier today I was on my phone going on Google searching up the best Zoro episodes. I thought I'd search that up because from the bits I've seen of One Piece, okay, I know this might be a pretty cliche thing to say, but I think so far from what I've seen of One Piece, Zoro would be my favorite character. And yeah, again, I know that might be a cliche thing to say, but if it's cliche, I think it'd be cliche for a good reason because, yeah, it's no wonder why people love Zoro because he's this badass swordsman dude who's got that Piccolo voice in the dub. So I thought that since I'm going to go out of my way to watch a random One Piece episode, why don't I watch one that's centric to this guy? And I chose episode 377 as I saw it get number one on a best Zoro episodes list online. And after watching it, what do I think of this Zoro-centric segment? Well, overall, as I was watching episode number 377, I thought it was pretty solid, a pretty enjoyable episode to watch, and I think so far it would be my favorite One Piece episode that I've seen. Yeah, sure, this episode might be a bit slow, with maybe not too much going on in it, but still, I can see why this would be people's favorite Zoro episode, and this episode can also make me understand why people would love One Piece in general, like it a lot more than I do, and think that's actually worth watching the whole way through from start to finish. And yeah, while I don't exactly agree with that opinion, since the show is over 1,100 episodes at this point, and not to mention I'm a pretty lazy guy, despite me having a bunch of free time on my hands, I can see why people would feel that way, and this episode right here is no exception. As I thought that this Zoro-centric segment was epic and had nice, solid voice acting, good execution, and not to mention I was also getting certain Dragon Ball vibes while watching the episode with, the voice acting and sound effects. And I'm not gonna lie, when Zoro was getting electrocuted during the second half of the episode, I was kind of getting goosebumps. And the way Zoro won and sacrificed himself at the end of the episode was also pretty epic too. So yeah, overall, I did enjoy watching episode 377 of One Piece, like I've been saying. And as I was watching the episode, I was kind of trying to decide in my head whether I think this episode is more deserving of the 7 out of 10 rating or the 8 out of 10 rating. Yeah, you know what? I'll just give it the 8 out of 10 score. Why not? Even though an 8 out of 10 means great in my eyes. And yeah, I might not exactly think that One Piece is a great show. But you know what? No, I'll give this episode an 8 out of 10 score. For me, it barely reaches the 8 out of 10 score. It was a pretty enjoyable episode to watch, especially during the last few minutes of it. Although, if any of you want to do this, yes, I guess maybe you can roast me in the comment section by saying, oh man, you'd probably enjoy the episode more had you watch One Piece from start to finish instead of just picking a random One Piece episode to watch like a lame person. Yeah, okay. Yeah, feel free to roast me in the comment section for only watching random clips and episodes of One Piece instead of watching the whole series from start to finish. But hey, all that matters is that I did what I wanted to do and that I still like One Piece. But to you people who like One Piece a lot more than I do and think that the show is actually worth watching from start to finish, more power to you. Watch and enjoy One Piece all you want. And regardless of whether I'll watch more One Piece in the future or not, I still think that it's a good animated show, and I also wouldn't be against rewatching any episode that I've seen, especially not this one. So yeah, like I said before, overall, episode 377 of One Piece is barely an 8 out of 10 in my eyes. If you want to, you can let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this video, or what you think of this episode of One Piece if you've seen it. And yep, not much more for me to say. Bye you guys, thanks for watching the video, and also have a good rest of your summer.